Hi everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome back. We are continuing on with our Quaint Pink Roses Soft Spine Journal. And today I thought we'd make a couple things. Number one, I want to get to the floral portion. I want to make a couple of flowers, probably for the front cover, possibly put them somewhere else. I'm not sure at the moment. I reserve the right to change my mind as usual. And then I wanted to make a couple of coin envelopes. So far, we've got this filling up pretty good. Got pockets and tucks and flips and banners and more tucks and corner pockets, etc. So I've got, let's see, I've got one, looks like I've got one page. Oh, that'll be perfect because that's what I want to do, is do the coin envelope on this last page of the well, it's the last page of this signature, and the first page of this signature is where the coin envelope is going to go. So this is what it looks like. It is, well, almost 3 by 4. I believe on the punch board it says it is 2.5 by 3.5. But that's the card size, so the envelope is slightly bigger. I started out with a piece of paper that is 5.5 by 5.5. Let's just see how it goes. I did mark it on the board for myself so I don't forget. I believe this one scores at 2, I'm going to take my glasses off to see, 2 3/8. And there again, let me just double check this measurement. It is, 5.5 by 5.5. So, I think if I have the flap here, then this will be on the vertical side. So I'm going to start this way. And if it doesn't work that way, we'll flip it around. But this or this will be the flap, okay? So we are going to start at 2 3/8. And let me find my score tool. Now I want to be careful because I'm just using the 28 pound paper here. So just double checking, 5.5 by 5.5, 2 3/8. This is 2 3/8. You know how I like to jump to different sizes. I'm going to use the larger end here, only so if it feels safer to me, like I'm not going to punch a hole through the paper as I'm scoring. I am going to rotate, and I'm going to punch and score, and rotate, punch and score, and I am lining this previous score up with the score guide. It's appropriately named, and there we go. I just want to go over that enough so that it folds nicely. So I'm going to fold these pieces up, and then we'll see which way around we want this envelope, and then we'll trim it down to make it look like a coin envelope. Okay, so I'm just folding everything in. And it did not come out exactly like I thought. I thought this would be the flap if I was doing a regular envelope, but because I'm doing a coin envelope, I'm going to want it to stand up like this, but that's still really cool to have on the front. So I don't want it like this, I want it like this. So this is going to be the top, and I'm just going to make a little tiny T for myself. I will erase that in a minute, but you can see I left the top envelope open. Okay, now I'm going to just double check my measurements here. Yes, 1.5. I'm going to trim these side pieces off at 1.5. Otherwise we have envelopes that look like that, which is okay. You could leave them like that, but I'm going to measure from here and trim down 1.5. Alright, you know what? I'm going to mark this for myself just as a reminder of where it should be. okay, because I want that at 1.5, and I'm just lining that up there, and I'm just going to put a little line here, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side, just so I don't confuse myself, because as you know, I do confuse myself quite often. All right, so I guess I can line that up down here now and find that line. Should be, and there again, see, this is 1.5. I'm gonna just there. It makes more sense when you do it on the right side of the envelope. I'm just gonna flip that over the same way. The edge of this envelope, this corner right here, it kind of curves in. I don't know if you can see that. It kind of curves in a little bit, but I'm measuring from that point 1.5 inches. So that's this line here, and that should measure pretty much with my line here, and take that off. And then I'm going to measure the bottom one, because we've got this let's see, make sure I know which one is the top. On the bottom one, I'm going to do 1 inch. So I'm going to fold those in, kind of back that off right there to 1 inch, and trim that one down. That way I have enough to cover this little triangular area, but I haven't gone up so far, and it looks like a coin envelope. So that's how I do my coin envelopes. Probably way more complicated than you wanted to know. But if you're a measurer like me, that's that's how I do it. If you're not a measurer, you know, wing it. What do they say? There's more than one way. I used to say more than one way to skin a cat. That is just a messed up saying now. I love kitties. I wouldn't want to skin one. I don't know where that, I think I looked it up, and nobody really knows exactly where it came from. But there's more than one way to do things. Let's see. I want the flower on the top there, so I'm going to put my glue on this side and glue that down. And anything that oozes out, I'm going to rub it off. Oops, because it did ooze out. That's the one good thing about this glue. If you, you know, catch it before it cures, it'll rub right off. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing down here. Okay. Now I probably should have inked this before I glued it, but that's okay. We'll make it work. It will be okay. I want to erase that T. Okay, we want to ink this a little bit. I'm going to want to ink along here. I'm going to want to ink in here. A little bit in here. And then we'll do the outside. The beauty of inking it up ahead of time is that you get this, you can ink that edge there, but that's okay. I think I can live with it. And you know, if you want to, just go along the edges there and get it taken care of. Okay, so that's pretty. You can put these, I'm going to put these as floating pockets in the journal. So let's put some trim on the bottom. I've got this piece here. Let's put some, oops, just run some along the edge. You can put these on the side, or you can put them on the top as a flip. Lots of options here. I just love that butterfly. That turned out so cool. Okay. And then we'll probably want to put some bling on here somewhere. Maybe we'll put some of this on the other side as well. All right, let's get this over here. And maybe we'll run it the whole length. How about that? Let's see. If we do some hair in here. My hair is getting so long that it's getting everywhere. It's driving me insane. That's too short. Let's do that. Okay. I'll use a bigger piece instead of trying to use up my minuscule pieces. Alright, now this has a little piece in here where it didn't get adhered exactly correct, but it pulls out, so it's not a problem. Once you get it off the release paper, you can stretch it out. Get that piece of scrap. And we'll do one more row here. Now because I'm using a longer piece, I'm going to go ahead and run a line of glue down. If it was just a couple, I probably would just adhere it because it is very sticky, but because it's a whole strip, go ahead and put a little bit of that down. Get the backing off. There we go. And get this little piece off. There we go. And like I said, my original idea was to attach it in onto the page like this, make a tuck spot out of it, but I have tuck spots already in there, so I thought I would go ahead and use it as a floating pocket. So that's why I'm putting go ahead and put everything on this side. Where's that other, here it is. We'll get this sticky off. A little bit of glue down there. And it does go almost to the edge. Oh, I want to cut that little piece off the end. Probably wouldn't be that noticeable, but I notice it and it's going to bug me. All right. Like so. Now, do we want to put something on this side? I do. I'm not sure what, however. Let's see. What else do I have in here? I have some other little, yeah. What if we put just a piece of lace? I want something that's going to show. Let's use, I've got a little bit of this left. Let's use a little bit bigger piece. That one's kind of unravelly. And we'll glue this like we did on those other tags and put the bling on top. There we go. And there we go. Yeah, that'll work. I do have a few of those sheets that I can use up. Alright, and then I'll use those inside the flowers as well. Alright, so here we have a couple of pockets that we can tuck something inside, maybe a little note, coffee dyed paper, a little tag, what have you. And I will go ahead and put the short side down on that side, like so. Alright, so we can put those in our book. Now let's get to our flowers. Now I have made these before. They're so fun. I like to make these, and there's lots of ways you can do them. I'm going to do it with 2 circles. Now I've punched these out of the background, the ephemera pages, the one that had the small tags, I believe. My paper cutter, I have tried using foil, and it's got a really rough edge. The foil, the wax paper, anything that I've used, it doesn't seem to be fixing that, but it's not going to matter for this, okay? I have inked around them. You don't have to ink around them. You can ink around them later. I'm going to use some water, and I'm just going to spray these. This is 110-pound cardstock, so it would be a little faster with paper, not as much water necessary, but I want to be able to crinkle these up nice and tight. I can soak up some of that water. I've got ink on my mat, so they will get a little color as well. And I'm just going to kind of crinkle these up in my fingers. You want to be careful, because if you're using paper, it will be more delicate. And I'm just, like I said, I'm using 110-pound cardstock. You don't have to use the ones from the collection. You can use any scraps for this. If you have pieces of scraps laying around, you know, punch up. That's what I do, a lot of circles with my scraps. And I guess I better turn the light on. The sun left me. I do a lot of butterflies, and I do a lot of circles with my scraps, just so that I can have them for things like this. So what you want to do is just crinkle them up and let them sit like that, in no particular way. I'm just going to get that water up and let them dry. And then after they're dry, they're going to remain all crinkly, and then we're going to layer them together. So I think what I'll do is I'll go put these in a little mug and go ahead and try to dry them, if I can keep them from flying all over the place, and then we'll be back. Okay, so these aren't dry all the way, but most of the way. So I'm just kind of pulling them apart a little bit, and I'm going to glue them together. And then, now you could do as many layers as you want. You could do 2, 3, 4. I want just 2 layers because I want it to lay somewhat flat. So I'm just going to use my regular Beacon 301 here. And like I said, these are mostly dry, but not completely dry. So I'm just going to put a little dab right there in the middle. And I'm going to put Another one on top. Okay, little dab in the middle. If it'll come off, get off there. And put this other one on top. Now you can continue to scrunch them up, whatever you want to do, but I want to put a little bit of bling in the middle. So I guess I'll go ahead and do this one because it's open more. And just get that little bit of yucky stuff off the tip. Guess I left it open too long. All right, so I'm going to come here and get this little bit of bling and just stick it right in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and kind of crinkle it back up a little bit. Not too much, but enough that, you know, however you like it. Okay, oh, everything's sticking to me. My goodness, okay. What the heck happened here? Let me try that again. Let's try with some not so sticky glue. So I'm going to stick a little dollop of glue in the middle. There we go. That's much better. And then I'll put this down. You know what? I'm not going to use this one because it's yucky. Let's get a nice new shiny one. There we go. Nice new shiny one. Okay. And we'll use that because there's no glue on the tip of that to push that down. And then, like I said, you can squish this up a little bit more if you'd like, or leave it. This one, you know, has a little bit more movement going on. It's scrunched up a little bit more. So we'll get that down in there. Just like that. Okay, I got glue on the top of it, but you get the idea. It'll come off in a minute. I'll rub it off in a minute. And then I can hold that down and kind of scrunch around it if I like. Same thing here. That one on the bottom kind of flattened back out a little bit, but that's okay. Now I'm going to leave those to dry, and then I don't know where I may use those on the front cover. I'm not sure. I was thinking about using them as a decoration on here, but I think I'm going to leave these the way they are. So let's find a place for these. These we will revisit when we decorate the cover, and I think that will be our next episode, and then we'll pretty much be done. So we'll do the cover and the closure, and we'll call it a book. Okay, so this, yeah, this will be real pretty, just hanging right here. Like so. And, oh yeah, I like that. Could just stick it on there like that and not have to worry about the paper clip. Yeah. And then we'll be able to tuck something under there too, because I've still got other ephemera that needs to be have a place to go. So all right, well, let me get the stuff together for the cover. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do because I really don't want to cover this up, but it needs something. So I'm going to think about it, and next time we'll decorate the cover together. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.